Discovering Ancient Australia. Hi, today we will be talking about ancient Australia. The three artefacts we will be talking about is the fish trap, the tree carvings and the echidna rock engravings. First up, the fish trap. The fish trap was not a simple thing. It was a bunch of knowledge crammed into a fish-catching creation after the Aboriginals studied the migration of the fish in the area of Barina, New South Wales. The structure tricked the fish into entering easily, but it was very hard to escape. When the tide eventually went down, the fish would be stuck and the Aboriginals would collect their dinner. The locals in the area claim the traps are at least 40,000 years old, if not more. The fish trap today is a symbol of knowledge, survival and patience, and demonstrates the intelligence of the Aboriginal people in the migration of fish, water tides and currents. Over in Dubbo, New South Wales, the tree carvings or dendroglyphs also demonstrate the creativity and resourcefulness of the ancient Aboriginal people. Though it is difficult to estimate the exact age of the tree carvings, we know that the practice of carving trees was abandoned more than 100 years ago. Considering that this tree is not the only tree like this in New South Wales, we know that these art pieces act as red flags or markings of burial, sacred and special sites of spiritual significance. In other words, graves. Much like the tree engravings, the Aboriginal people also used their creativity to do rock engravings. One of the more famous pieces of art was the rock engraved echidna at Fisher West Head in Ku-ring-gai Chase National Park, less than 25 kilometres from Sydney. It is said that the rock engraving is about 5,000 years old and was used or worshipped in ceremonies to increase the availability of echidna, a symbol which represented food and was part of the everyday diet of Indigenous people of the region. So what do these artefacts tell us about the Indigenous Australians? We know the evidence of the artefacts from the ancient Australian period. The Indigenous Australians were above all resilient and resourceful. The creation of not only survival devices like the fish trap, but also ceremonial art demonstrated creativity, skill and the inclusion of the land in everything they did. And how do these artefacts prove about how long the Indigenous Australians have been living in Australia? Locals claim that the fish traps are at least 40,000 years old. It has been speculated that the engravings of the echidna in the rocks are approximately 5,000 years old, and although it is difficult to estimate the exact age of the tree carvings in Dubbo, we know that the practice of tree carving was abandoned more than a century ago, and Clifton Capitow, the founder of Anthropological Society of New South Wales and keen recorder of Aboriginal sites, travelled intensely through the regions in 1900s, photographing the Indigenous Australians have been living here for thousands of years. What has been presented here is only a small part of what has been discovered about ancient Australia, the Indigenous Australians and Dreamtime. Thanks mates, you beauty, catch you later.